If you've ever felt lost, overwhelmed, or unsure of yourself, then this story will find you where you are. Because sometimes the scariest sound in life isn't thunder or silence, it's the ticking of time you can never rewind. Long ago, in a quiet coastal town wrapped in mist and memories, lived Elias, a humble watchmaker with eyes that once held the spark of a dreamer. His little shop sat at the corner of an empty street, filled with clocks that ticked endlessly, each beat a reminder of the life he wished he had lived. When he was young, Elias wanted to build something extraordinary, a great clock tower by the sea, a creation that would stand tall against storms, a masterpiece that would outlast him. But life, as it so often does, had other plans. His father died young, leaving behind debts that chained him to duty. His mother grew frail, and Elias spent his youth caring for her, fixing other people's broken timepieces while his own time quietly slipped away. Years passed, and his dream slowly dimmed. The only light that once sparked in his life came from Clara, a painter with laughter brighter than sunrise. She loved Elias for his patience, his honesty, and his quiet hope. But one evening, she left, leaving behind only a note that said, "Meet me when your heart finds the courage to stop counting minutes and start living them." He never went. He couldn't. There was always a reason to wait. One more bill, one more responsibility, one more tomorrow. But tomorrow never came. And when he finally looked up, he was an old man surrounded by clocks that all told the same truth. He had run out of time. One rainy morning, Elias sat at his workbench, staring at Clara's faded letter. The paper was fragile, the ink smudged, but her words were alive, burning through his chest. Something shifted in him that day. He realized that all his life he had fixed time for others, but never lived his own. He closed his shop, hung a sign on the door that read, "Gone to fix something bigger," and walked toward the sea, the place where his dream was first born. The air was heavy with salt and memory. Seagulls circled above as waves crashed against the rocks, echoing like the ticking of a giant, unseen clock. On the shore, he found a young boy, no older than 10, kneeling beside a broken toy ship. "Why fix something that's already broken?" he asked softly. The boy looked up with wide eyes and said, "Because it once made someone happy. Isn't that reason enough?" Elias felt something break, and something else awaken. He smiled faintly, patted the boy's shoulder, and walked on with purpose. That night, under the orange glow of a lantern, Elias unfolded his old sketches, the designs for the clock tower. The lines were uneven, the ink faded, but his heart knew them by memory. With trembling hands and fierce determination, he began again. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The townsfolk whispered that the old watchmaker had gone mad, building a tower no one had asked for. But Elias didn't mind. Slowly, the same people who doubted him began to help, offering tools, wood, paint. They saw in him what they had lost in themselves: belief. Through storms and cold nights, they built together. With every gear placed and beam lifted, Elias felt younger, not in body, but in spirit. He laughed again. He dreamed again. When the clock tower was finally complete, Elias climbed to the top for the first time. The sun was setting, painting the sea in gold. He reached out to set the pendulum in motion, his masterpiece, his redemption, but his heart weary from years of waiting, began to falter. He smiled, whispered, "It's time," and fell still as the clock chimed its first note, deep, beautiful, eternal. The townsfolk found him there, peaceful, resting beside the heartbeat of his dream. The clock tower stood tall, marking not hours, but hope. And each chime carried a whisper through the wind. Don't wait. Time doesn't. This story teaches us time doesn't wait for courage, so live before it's too late. Dreams don't fade with age, only with hesitation. If this story touched your heart, subscribe for more tales that remind you to live, love, and never stop believing. Your next favorite story might just be the one you hear tomorrow.